Excuse me. Hello, my name is Keshwani. That's Keshwani, Keshwani. In these clips that I've been putting on the YouTube, I've been solving the math problems that appear in this book, the official SAT study guide. There are 8 exams in it. Each exam has 3 math sections, and I will try to solve as many problems as I can from the 8 exams. But I have DVDs of all of these 8 exams. There are all of these 8 exams, altogether 24 sections, separate DVD collection for each of the sections. If after watching the clip you find it helpful, and if you wish to purchase the DVD which contains the solutions to all the problems in section number 2, one after the other without any interruptions, without any sales pitch, write me an email and I'll send you over the DVD. Also, you need to have this book, the official SAT study guide, in front of you in order to follow my work. If you don't, purchase one, either from me or one of the bookstores. Let's begin then. I'm about to solve a problem that appears in exam number 4, section number 2, page 585, question number 15. Let's see what it has to say. As I have said many times before, if you have watched my previous clips, SAT is not about how much math you know. The math that is required in the SAT is very elementary. When I say elementary, I don't mean it's something that by the time you graduate from high school, everybody should know. It does not involve calculus. It does not involve differential equations or analytical geometry. It involves simple things. So then the question is, what is it about then? How do they make a hard question a hard one in the SAT? If they're not allowed to use if they're not allowed to ask you any of those steps. Well, it's about thinking. That's all it is. It's about thinking. What they're trying to see is how well and how clearly and how logically you can think. You will see this. You will see that in this problem that I'm about to solve. The math, there is not much math here. Let's see what it says. You just have to be able to think logically, systematically, calmly, and that's all. Don't get excited over it. Just follow logically, systematically, and that's it. It says when it's noon Eastern Standard Time in New York City, it is 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time in San Francisco. So I'm going to make a note of it. When it is noon, here's your Eastern Standard Time, which is the New York City time. 9 a.m. equals what? Equals when it is noon. Oh, blast it! I screwed it up. Pacific Standard Time, and this is your San Francisco time. SF stands for San Francisco. So when it's noon here, it is 9 a.m. there. What do you infer? For those of you who watched my previous clip, what do you surmise? I hope you looked up these 2 words before and learned them. What do you infer? What inference do you make? Well, I conclude that there is a difference of 3 hours. These guys are 3 hours behind. San Francisco is 3 hours behind. Let's keep going. And that's how you read it. Just jot down on a piece of paper very quickly what it is that you found out. Digest it, absorb it before you read the next sentence. A plane takes off from New York City at noon. All right. So we are leaving New York City at noon and arrives in San Francisco at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. This was Eastern Standard Time. Before I read the next here, let's find out how long the trip took. How long did it take? 4 hours? Of course not. We just told you, we just said a little while ago that the San Francisco is 3 hours behind. So I need to add 3 hours different time here. Difference in time. In other words, when it's noon in New York City, San Francisco is 3 hours behind us. So when it is 4 o'clock in San Francisco, it should be 7 o'clock in New York City, which means the whole trip, since we're starting out with the Eastern Standard Time, we have to convert this finally at Eastern Standard Time. So the plane arrived at 4 o'clock in San Francisco at San Francisco time. We're not interested in San Francisco time. We're not interested in the Pacific Standard Time. We need to convert into Eastern Standard Time so that we can compare apples to apples. Now I know that the trip takes 7 hours. We're going to remember it. Let's make a note someplace. Trip takes 7 hours. Now let's see what the question is asking. So I'm going to erase all of this then because it's too confusing otherwise. I'm just going to solve the problem. If a plane left San Francisco at noon and took exactly the same amount of time for the trip, what was the plane's arrival time in New York City? Well, that's pretty straightforward. Now we're doing just the reverse. So I'm going to erase everything here. Just keep in mind there is a 3-hour difference. San Francisco is 3 hours behind, as you can see here. When it's 12 o'clock in New York, it's 9 o'clock in the morning in San Francisco. So a second plane leaves San Francisco at noon. So we're leaving If you're leaving San Francisco at noon, we should arrive at 7 p.m. San Francisco time, which is what they're calling the Pacific Standard Time. But because San Francisco is 3 hours behind us, this is the San Francisco time. It's going to take us 7 hours. We left at noon in San Francisco time. We should arrive at 7 o'clock San Francisco time, by which time in New York it is going to be 10 o'clock at night. 3 hour time difference. That's it. I think that's what they're asking. What time are you going to arrive? There you go. What time are you going to arrive? The answer is A. That's all it is. Let me take a quick second to see how much it is time-wise. That's about it. There's nothing to it. You just have to think logically, systematically, and so forth. I always felt that this question was not entirely fair for the non-US students taking the exam. Because if you live in the US, if you were brought up here, these terms of Eastern Standard Time and the Pacific Standard Times are very familiar to you. How the hell they expect the foreigner, somebody taking the exam in Indonesia or Taiwan or Hong Kong or India to know the local terminology? What they use in the US. But anyway, in the US, the time in the California zone area is referred to as the Pacific Standard Time. Time in the New York area in the east coast of the US is referred to as Eastern Standard Time. And then they have a Central Standard Time and they have a Mountain Standard Time. But anyway, we don't need to worry about that. That's the answer. I hope you found it helpful. Send me email if you wish to purchase the DVD, which contains the solutions to all the problems in this section, math problems, section number 2. Or if you must get hold of me for private tutoring, one-to-one private tutoring for SAT or GRE or GMAT, I'm here at your service. And thank you again for watching.